Hello to all the comic fans, Marvel geeks, and all the nerds in between. Welcome to another episode of the Vigilante Vibes podcast, where we talk all things Marvel, along with other fandoms, but without the toxicity that's taken up way too much space in each and every fandom. I'm your host, Megan Nicole, and we're here to have another episode of Elevating the Nerdy Voices of the Rainbow, where we lift up the voices of the LGBTQ plus communities. Today, joining me, I have the beautiful Starlette, who I'm so excited to talk to.
Hi, nice to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm so excited you're here. I can't believe we haven't done this before because we've been talking since the beginning of Agatha all along.
Yeah. The hat's a little homage to when we first met.
I love
But
it. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about you?
yeah, so I'm Starlette. I am a drag queen, filmmaker, nerd combo. I have been a Marvel fan since I was 8. I picked up one of the House of M and I was like, oh, this is for me. Um, but I am also huge into film, so Marvel movies are also like my thing. So,
Oh, I love that. So, what kind of movies do you like?
are we
Like
talking
Marvel
like,
movies?
okay, Marvel movies?
Yeah.
Thor Ragnarok has to be a top. That was a big one for me. I loved that. That helped me get into film, like as a student. Um,
Oh,
I just like it was a perfect balance of like action and comedy, and I think that in the Marvel universe we didn't get a lot of that. Like especially with the earlier projects, it didn't feel as comedy heavy, but that one really did a good balance. Obviously, Endgame masterpiece. But in terms of newer projects, I've been liking their TV stuff. I thought Agatha All Along was a really great series. Definitely not my favorite. I don't have any strong feelings towards that show at all. But I also really enjoyed Daredevil. I know that's a little bit different, but I really enjoyed Daredevil. Miss Mrs. Marvel, great. But yeah, I'm leaning more onto the comedy side of things because I think comics were always supposed to be fun. So why not make the TV shows and the movies fun as well?
I agree completely. Did you see the new Daredevil that premiered this week?
I have not actually. It's been a swamped week for me, but me and my friend watched the trailer last night and were very audibly loud in the study hall of our school.
I think you'll really dig it, but it is heavy. Like they go pretty hard, and I'm really excited because they're clearly following the Daredevil Netflix show, which is such a smart idea.
Yeah, that was a very big show for people who were outside of the MCU as well.
Yeah,
So I'm glad that they're following in their footsteps. I'm excited to see.
I agree. But I think I agree with what you said that it's for people who are like, who are like MCU. Then there's like, oh, but then there's the Netflix shows because those are dark and gritty, and it's what you're missing in the bigger MCU.
Yeah.
So, something I love about you is that you're a drag queen.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm genderqueer. And growing up AFAB, I never really felt like I related to a lot of the gender roles that were like put upon me. And I discovered drag when I was in high school, and it seemed so interesting to me, like playing with like different gender roles and perception. But I didn't think that I could do it because I was like, I'm AFAB, and drag is only for guys, so I can't do drag. But I got to college and I like started to go to drag shows and like explore more of my own community being a queer person. And I was like, no, this is something I can do, and it's been really healing for me personally, and like reconnecting with what femininity means to me and what masculinity means to me. It's just been really fun, and I also love the artistic expression of makeup, and it's just been something that's been like a release for me artistically. So
I love how you said that it was healing for you. That's
yeah.
like because when you think of drag queen, you think of like big hair, makeup, all that stuff. I'd never considered it being something so spiritual, I guess, or emotional. So I love that. That is so cool.
Yeah, I think drag, like people have said this, but like drag saves lives. Like I know people who I'm the co-president of the drag club at my college, and like I know people who have felt like they don't belong in their own queer spaces. Like they feel outsiders in their own community, and like being able to practice drag and being able to like express themselves in a more free space, because like yes, the queer community is great, but there is like a certain divide, and there are still things that we need to like work out, especially with like non AMAB people being in drag, assigned male at birth, if you
Oh,
need
okay.
to know. Sorry. Yeah.
No, you're fine. I'm still trying to learn all those, and it's so hard if you're not in that community to keep up with all of them. So thank you for explaining.
Yeah, no worries. Look, there are things I don't even know, so I definitely don't expect everybody to know. But AFAB is assigned female at birth, AMAB is assigned male at birth. Um, but ooh, the ADHD kicked in, and I couldn't remember what I was saying.
um, that it's helped a lot of them with their feeling so outside, even though the LGBT community is very inclusive, but it's
Yeah,
still a community. Every community is going to have that portion of it that's just not very inclusive.
yeah. There's definitely been some spaces of like division between like older, more like stereotypical, like I'm a gay man and like only gay men can do drag, versus like the more younger generations being more open and accepting. And it's been very interesting to see, because I think we often think of like stereotypically like older people having like certain beliefs and like younger people having certain beliefs, and we think that that only like extends to the society that we're in at large, but it perpetrates like smaller spaces like the queer community as well. So I think it's something really interesting that I've noticed, and that I like to kind of talk about, just
Hmm.
because like yes, we are a community, but there are still divisions and still like some hostility there. So having spaces that are so accepting, like in the drag sphere, has been really helpful for me and for other people that I know.
So I didn't know colleges had a drag club. That's really cool. What do you guys do? Like what goes into it?
Yeah, so actually at my college, me and my friends started it, but we basically educate other people on what drag is. We give them a safe space to explore and try it out if they'd like to. So we host like workshops where we teach people how to do like drag makeup, or how to like Vogue and dance and stuff like that. And then we also throw like showcases. Like in March, we're having Kiki Ball, which is basically like a runway show, so allowing people to like come and participate if they feel like they want to try their hand at drag, or if they're just like interested and want to learn more. It's also like a learning event, and we have like things to talk about, and like a small section where we're gonna like explore the history of drag and what Kiki Ball is. So
Oh wow. See, in my head, I was like, they're just like getting all dressed up, living their best lives, hitting the town, painting it red. But there's actually like history to it all.
yeah, absolutely. It dates back to early like dance and club scenes back in New York in the 80s and 90s. There's a lot of like intersection with queer rights. Like drag queens have often been at the forefront of the queer rights movement, and have been kind of statues, or like figureheads for the queer movement. A lot of people accredit the start of like the queer rights movement to a woman named Marsha P. Johnson, who threw the first brick at Stonewall, which was a gay bar that was being raided by the cops, and that started like protests. So yeah, there's a huge history when it comes to drag culture and how it intersects with where we are today.
Whoa. That's really cool. I'm learning so much right now. That's so cool. So is there a certain style you like in drag to like that makes you feel your best?
Well, I typically do feminine drag, although I have done some drag king things. If you don't know what that is, that's kind of like a hyper masculine version. So when you
Oh.
think of drag queens with the big hair and the big makeup, drag kings are like, they're typically more punkish and like grungish, and they'll like do like beards and mustaches, and like it's cool.
I didn't know there was a masculine uh version of it. That's
Yeah.
a drag king you said.
Yes. Yeah. They're actually starting the first reality TV show for drag kings this coming year. So, very excited to see what that's like.
Is that by RuPaul?
It is not. It's by this guy named Murray. I can't remember his last name, but he is like a trans man who was very active in the drag scene when it was first coming up. So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
So I'm sure you look for this kind of representation in media of some sort. Have you found a good drag representation?
Yeah, so if we're talking about like in the large, I will say I enjoy Drag Race, but there are shows, some smaller shows like Dragula, which highlight like more of the artistic side of drag. So it's like more like not the big wigs and not like the glitz and glam, but like people who want to do like more horror stuff or like more goth stuff and more less like dresses and pretty gowns and more just like artistic fashion pieces. So that's been really cool. But in terms of Marvel Comics, I do really like Dark Veil. If you are aware of who that is, uh, first drag queen in Marvel history, and it was his name is Darnell Wade, and he like his drag persona is Dark Veil, and her like power is like teleportation. It's really cool.
Wait, you mean the first one?
I,
Because I have you heard of Shade?
well, she was renamed. It is Shade, but she was
Oh,
renamed
okay.
Dark Veil.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
Oh, that's really cool. So Shade was inspired by RuPaul's Drag Race alumni, the Vixen, right?
yeah. The Vixen, Dax exclamation point, and Shea Coulee. I think who I love Shea Coulee. She's so
And I think
gorgeous.
Monet Exchange, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. That like having like the first drag character. That's amazing.
Hmm.
And I haven't gotten to read them anywhere. Do
Yeah.
you like what you've read so far?
Yeah, it's been good so far. I think it's cool that it's not only like queer representation and drag representation, but also black representation. Like as a black drag queen, it's really exciting for me to see because I'm just like, oh my god, that's me.
Oh my god, you should cosplay as Shade.
I've thought about it a lot. A thing with the Vixen is a lot of the times she actually does cosplay as like Storm and like Marvel characters, so I think that would be like full circle for me if I did that.
Oh, you have to. You would kill it. There's no. You're gonna do it now. I'm sorry. Like,
Okay,
I won't rest until it happens.
writing that down. Got it.
Yes. Oh, that's so cool. I love that there really is like something out there for everyone. It, they're getting better about having different kinds of representation because I think like Marvel's learning too because there's a lot of this like goes right over my head. So I think the straight world is also catching up too.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah.
that it's been slow progress with Marvel in particular, but it's been headed in a right direction. And I hope that with everything going on that it doesn't backslide because it's been really cool to see shows like Agatha where like I think everybody in the coven except for Lilia was queer. Like
Mm.
that was awesome. And like a huge leap from that one line I think it was Endgame, where it was like the first gay character in the Marvel cinematic universe. All his like being was saying that like I lost my husband in the blip, and everyone's like, oh, the first Marvel character who is openly gay.
Who the hell was that?
It was literally a one-off character in the support group that Cap was in.
Oh, I think was that played by Joe Russo?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. That was the first one.
yeah, that was the first one.
Ew.
Yeah, I know.
What? I guess like there are some others, but like because you have like Fastos from Eternals, who was just I love how they handled his family
Yeah.
situation. I loved it was just a family. It was nothing. They
Yes.
made no deal about it. It was just that's it, and that was so perfect. And then you have Loki, the bisexual god he is, just
Mhm.
banging everyone. I hope to see more because, like, I think it's handled really well in the MCU because they don't make it a big deal. They don't say like this is a character and the only thing about that character is that they're gay.
Hmm.
It's more there's the character and they're gay.
Yeah. And I think that's like the best way to go about it, especially with like such like Marvel. There has been so much discourse about like the people who are wokeifying Marvel and like trying to be like, you know, kind
Yeah,
of bigoted about it for lack of a better term. And
they've been assholes about it.
yeah, exactly. I didn't know if I
Yeah,
could curse on this, but good to
absolutely you can.
know.
Whatever you want.
But yeah, they're being assholes about it. And this kind of like is a good way to push back in my opinion, where it's like it's not trying to push an agenda. That's just a family, you know. Like we're not trying to like force you to like consume gay content. Like these people are just queer. That's who they are.
It's it's supposed to mimic modern times, and from the beginning, Marvel has been white straight heroes. Granted, there were some characters that were openly gay, like Arnie Hall, who was Steve Rogers' best friend, openly gay. Like, and that was like in the 60s. So they've been around. They've always been there.
The
But
comics were so queer, and like it's about time that the MCU itself caught up, you know?
yeah, because it's like, first of all, some of these characters, if you have a problem with gay people, I don't even want to tell you the stuff about Loki. Not even in the comics. Like, he's like done a horse.
Oh yeah.
Y'all ain't said nothing about that.
Nope.
Nope. Very quiet about that. But it's like, it's just, it's always been white, straight people. Look at the Avengers. Incredible group of people, incredible characters, all white, all straight. And it's like, I'm sorry, that's not what today's world is. They're catching up to what we are experiencing now.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I hope this world continues to trend in that direction, I hope to see more and more like queer characters being themselves. Let's just hope it continues that way.
Yeah, because if it's like Agatha all along was proof that people will like it if the content is good because you can see like everyone was mad that when uh Aubrey Plaza came out and said it's the gayest show out there. Everyone's like, "Oh hell no, I'm not watching that. How dare they? How that that is evil." And it's like, "Bro, it's about witches."
Mm-hmm.
Like, first of all, the gay part is the evil part,
Right.
not the witches. Wild.
They're like pentagrams? No, that gay shit though?
Right. Oh, and but those people were so silent when the show aired because it was a quality good show and everything they handled was perfectly done. Like Joe Locke like planting one on his boyfriend. There was like almost no discourse from that. And
Hmm.
that is a beautiful beautiful thing.
Yeah, it definitely. I loved seeing the haters silenced when that show dropped. Oh, it made my heart so happy. But yeah,
Yeah.
they've been doing a good job handling it, and I think I'm excited to see more of Wiccan in the future. Hopefully more Ghost Agatha. I love that we're going back to comics. I felt like Wiccan was also a very good return to comics, given like what they had to work with already from WandaVision. They did a pretty good job reintegrating him as much with the comics as they could. So also having Ghost Agatha around, I'm here for it.
I agree. I like how comic accurate it was and even if it wasn't comic accurate, it was still so good. I think about the episode, I think it was episode 5 because episode 5 of every Marvel show it hits home. But when he first shows that he's Wiccan, I think about that scene every freaking day.
Yeah.
Like I could learn a whole new language with the time I have spent and the just the room in my brain that's right there with Wiccan.
I understand. I understand. For me, it's the kiss of death. Oh, the kiss of death.
It
Oh,
was
it
so
made me
random,
so
but like
happy.
it was so like she like it just came out of nowhere. Like we all knew they were gonna kiss, and we were all like, just do it,
Mhm.
just like come on, don't like blue balls us here. And then she did, and I was like, well, wait, why'd you do it though?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it
I
was
like
so random.
the show ended right after they stopped kissing, and nothing else happened after that at the end.
It was just like, oh, were you just like, you know what, I've had enough. Let's
Hmm.
just get this over with. Or did you know you'd come back as a ghost? I want so much more follow up, but I don't know if we'll get it because of, Aubrey Plaza and the tragedy she's gone through in her life. I don't blame her if she never comes back to acting.
I definitely feel for her. And Jeff Baena was a great writer. I think
Hmm.
a lot of people like are very much like, oh, it's Aubrey Plaza's husband, but you should check out some of the movies he's written because I like them.
He's
So
extraordinarily talented.
yeah, rest
Um,
in peace.
I do agree that it's been overlooked because it's more like, oh, her husband. But like what's been more disgusting have been the jokes made, like because she's deaf in the show.
Yeah.
There's been those jokes, and it's like, come on, like that's just shows you where society's head is at.
Yeah, a lot of people who were like, "Oh, so she's single now?" Like that is so
Yeah,
beyond insensitive.
that is weird.
Yeah. That was
Also, like you had a chance.
truly like sitting at home typing in your little like on your toilet, like you're not.
it's just it's just so weird.
Yeah,
It's just so fucking weird. But we do send our wishes to her.
absolutely. Yeah.
I can't imagine what she's going through. Hopefully, we never do.
Yeah.
This has been really fun. I'm really excited that we're doing this.
Me too. I definitely we should have me we. I should be on here more.
You're welcome back anytime. You're amazing, obviously. And plus, like, I could not get enough of you when, if you guys were following along with Agatha all along, we were doing a weekly coven chat every week from uh, Bleeding Rainbow Comics socials, which, if you don't know who they are, check them out, or you're just wasting your life at this point.
Yeah, shout out to them. I miss
Love
LJ
them.
and Wen. Amazing people.
Amazing people. I want so much more of them in my life. And these little bastards probably will have no idea we're talking about them. And I'll be like, we mentioned you in the show. And they're like, oh, that's nice. And they have no idea.
Mm-mm. We should just leave them secret messages at the end.
Yes.
Be
We
like,
should definitely have a revive of a coven chat.
I said, hey, I remember at the end when I like ducked out, I was like, we should have a reunion and I will do a
Yes.
reading for everyone and it will be great. Viewers, not viewers, no one can see me. Listeners, I also like read tarot and do witchy things. So, you know,
Starlet is a jack of all trades.
yes.
She does like a little bit of everything, and that's what I love because it's like fashion, tarot. You understood so much about Agatha and the witchy stuff that goes with it. It's like, all right, well, she's just our little dictionary, honestly.
My mom used to call me a walking encyclopedia, and I don't think I've ever heard a more apt description.
That, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's you. Well, while we're about to wrap up, why don't you tell our listeners where they can find you?
Yeah, so I am on Instagram and TikTok at starlette.mua. That's short for makeup artist. And
Oh,
yeah.
I thought it was okay. This whole time, I thought it was like a kissing sound,
Yeah.
like moi.
That's what a lot of
Oh,
people tell me. They're like, I thought it was Starlet Mwah. And I was like, oh, you know what?
yeah.
That
I was
works.
like, that is so sassy. I love it.
Maybe I'll just pretend that's what it was.
It's. I mean, like, I'm not gonna ask for like a finder's fee or anything, but like,
Oh, yeah.
it's fine.
So I am a college student. So the money isn't really there, but I can pay you an exposure.
That works. That works.
But yes, starlet.mua. It's STARLETTE.MUA.
And wherever you guys are listening to this, just look in the show notes and you will find that exact link where you can find Starlet.
Awesome.
So thank you for coming on. It has been so much fun.
Yes, thanks for having me. It was great catching up.
Of course. So, thank you for listening to this episode of Vigilante Vibes. Wherever you're checking out this episode, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any more of my amazing guests like Starlette or any future episode. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a marvelous night.